Welcome back. I'm Alex Plant with Sun Microsystems. I'm sitting down here with Jacob Lehrbaum, who's a senior product manager in our JavaFX group. Thanks for stopping by. We really appreciate that.
Of course.
Yeah, so give us an overview of JavaFX in general. We'll talk about the show and all this buzz that's going on, but talk to us about what's going on with JavaFX. I know we announced it a year ago. Let us just give us an overview, if you wouldn't mind.
Sure, yeah. So we look at JavaFX as a family of products at Sun. It incorporates a language that we use to create applications. It's a script-based language. Okay. It also includes runtimes across the desktop, mobile, TV, and other devices, all the screens of your life. And we also have the JavaFX JavaFX mobile player, which is sort of a more complete stack that we're looking to build out into the mobile space as well. It incorporates more of the middleware applications, user interface, et cetera.
That's great. So we announced it a year ago. Or do we announce this week at the show?
We actually did announce it the first day of the show last year. What we're showing this year is some of the progress that we've made over the past year in terms of building out the language, the runtime, and the tools. Okay. We actually had some pretty cool demos that we unveiled on Tuesday. Actually, very, very impressive. They demonstrate how easy it is to create rich, highly interactive, visually exciting and stimulating content with JavaFX.
That's great. So what would you say separates JavaFX from other languages? What makes it different and unique?
Yeah, so with JavaFX, we're actually building on top of the existing momentum that we have with the Java platform. Java is running across more devices than any other platform out there. It's across over 2 billion phones, well north of 3 billion devices. So it's running on just about every device on the planet. And so what we have with Java is a high-performance runtime that allows us to execute pretty complex code. It's got deep support for the system, giving us things like file system, persistent storage, security, all those great things. What we're adding with JavaFX is the ability to create rich visual experiences on top of that. So with JavaFX plus the Java platform, you're able to create pretty complex applications, but present them in a very fun, easy to use manner.
Because that's what you were saying before about how that's where the world's going. There's a need to create these rich internet applications that are more engaging, more sophisticated, more fun.
Right, exactly. I mean, if you look back at the history of computing, we were creating applications just allowed you to execute a task. But I mean, it's pretty clearly in the mainstream now, and you look at things like mobile phones, those are 100% mobile device, consumer devices. So, we have this opportunity to present computing in a more fun way, allow people to consume information how they want to, make it exciting, make it fun to use.
Absolutely. Well, you brought up mobile, and I know that's an area that you specifically work in. We can all relate to the idea that we access the internet and content from the internet and applications, not just from our desktop and not just from our laptops, but increasingly from handhelds and other devices. Maybe talk to us about the intersection between JavaFX and what's going on with the mobile space.
Sure. So I think this really speaks to convergence, and we've had a strategy or a saying at Sun for quite a long time about the network being the computer, right? And we're really seeing that now, where what's important to you is the ability to access your information, communicate with people wherever and whenever you are. So this idea that the mobile phone or the PC is really just a window into your world, and the data and the information lives out in the network, lives out in this cloud someplace. And we're giving people the ability to access that information, communicate with people wherever they are through JavaFX. So developers can create an application that runs on the desktop. They can take that application, run on a mobile device, present a very similar user experience, and access the same information. So users are really untethered to kind of do what they want to do wherever they are.
That's great. And so you've been at the booth all week.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
So what are we showing at the booth for JavaFX? And
sure. So we're showing the kind of the development environment to show people how easy it is to create JavaFX script. We also have a number of demonstrations that you can actually see videos of these on javafx.com. And what you can basically see there, as well as in the booth, is the video globe, which shows about 200 or so simultaneously rendering video windows. And they're all spinning around in 3D effects that is pretty much not possible in any other rich client runtime today. So it's all separately rendering, separately moving around in 3D transitions, and then we can show transforming that into a full HD rendering video that takes kind of a cool effect onto the screen and presents it to the user. So that's one. We also have a kind of an example of a video gallery that introduces some cool 2D transitions. We've got actually one of my favorite demos is Moon Tank, where you actually introduce, I think we're using Project Darkstar to to allow two computers to communicate together. Darkstar is is our gaming server.
That's right. That's right.
So you can have the two different systems playing each other. You got this globe that's spinning around in 3D with real-time mapped, high-resolution skins on top of it. Then you got this little tank that you can drive over the moon, and you can see the tank come over the horizon, and you're kind of firing at each other, and it's a really fun, entertaining game.
It sounds great.
Yeah, hopefully we can make that available to people at some point.
Yeah, that's really, it just sounds like there's so many different applications and uses for what, what JavaFX can provide. I mean, it's the projects themselves, but also the pervasive nature of where they can go.
Well, that's right. So I think what's really different about JavaFX is the fact that we have this full, rich application environment where we can build pretty complex algorithms, code, logic. We can even leverage existing Java libraries, really wrap that up in JavaFX script to create the more interesting interfaces and interaction. And so you just really don't get that complexity with pretty much the other models out there. And again, the cool thing is that you can run it in a browser. You can drag it from the browser to a desktop, run it there, which actually really makes it easy to acquire new content and just browse to it and then save it to your desktop, and then also then move it to other devices.
That's great. So looking forward, post the show, I know we're all pretty focused on this week. It's been quite a week. What does the future hold for JavaFX?
Sure. So step one is we're going to get an SDK out to developers. They can go to javafx.com and sign up to get access to the preview when we make it available. It should be a couple months from now. Next step is towards the end of the year, we'll have the full JavaFX desktop runtime available so that we can start to get that out on consumer desktops. By the way, we actually have, I think, 45 million downloads per month of the Java environment, so we're going to get that out to pretty much all the desktops very quickly. Next step after that is get onto mobile. That should be mid-next year.
Mid-next year. That's great. Well, thanks so much for stopping by. It sounds like there's just so many really cool things going on with JavaFX. We're looking forward to a really exciting future as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm pretty excited to see what other people come up with using this technology that we're coming out with.
Well, we're going to follow the story really closely. We really appreciate you stopping by.
Of course, my
pleasure.
Cool.
Thank you very much, Jacob.
My
Great.
pleasure.
That's it from JavaOne. I'm Alex Plant with Sun, and we'll see you next time.